Welcome to Pario Magazine, where I chat with individuals who have a desire to create. Today, I'm joined by an Australian singer-songwriter who is gearing up to release her debut EP later this year. Welcome to Pario Magazine, Kaylah Thomas.
Hi, hello.
Exciting to have you here today to chat about your journey through the world of music and the new EP. However,
No.
before we dive into that, do you want to give our audience a brief little introduction as to who Kaylah is away from music?
Yeah, oh, hi. Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Super, super excited. So I'm a singer-songwriter from country Victoria. I live in the Big Smoke, so in Melbourne at the moment. So I'm studying interactive composition at the University of Melbourne, which is exciting. I work at a pub part-time and every now and then I busk, but yeah, my passion is music and I have such a drive for songwriting and yeah, I just want to make music my full-time gig.
Fantastic. When and how did you sort of discover this passion for music?
Yeah, so I mean, like as a kid, I always enjoyed singing in like school productions and things like that. However, it wasn't kind of until my later teens that I started taking music kind of seriously and I started thinking about what I want to do later on. And the idea of music becoming like my reality later on kind of didn't hit home till I was like looking at university things and figuring out what I wanted to do. So yeah, I always had a passion for singing, and for a long time, I kind of identified myself as a singer. And within recent years, I've kind of really resonated with the singer-songwriter term. I've always kind of like written songs. And so I think that's what I want to do with my life.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of fell into the singing role and then branched out from there, I suppose. Long story short.
Yep. And sort of looking at your background, you were a principal vocalist in the school spectacular in Victoria 3 years running. Was that the moment
Yeah.
where you sort of switched and went, I should pursue music a little bit more professionally?
Yeah, I feel like you know me so well. No, absolutely, yeah. Being a part of Spec or the Victorian State School Spectacular was an amazing opportunity. So we got to perform in Hisense Arena. It's now known as like John Cain Arena, I think. But yeah, like just something of like that degree and intensity was like an amazing experience. I loved every minute of it, and it was kind of around those later years of my teens and that experience that I was like, yeah, no, this is what I want to do in life. So definitely 100% that totally influenced my decision.
Would you say that has been the biggest influence on you growing up, or were there other musical influences throughout the years leading up to that process?
I think that was probably a big influence in terms of stuff that I've personally done. In regards to like other musical influences, like obviously there are heaps of artists I look up to. I'm a massive Swiftie fan,
Mhm.
which I mean you probably stereotype me that way, but yeah. So I love Taylor Swift and a lot of other really cool female artists. Massive fan of Maggie Rogers and Maisie Peters. And so yeah, musically they inspire me a lot and creatively as well.
Hey, if you're going to look up to a singer-songwriter, is there anybody better than Taylor Swift with what she has achieved?
Yeah, no, literally, she is it.
And with the experiences with the school spectacular, did those sort of performances prepare you for life as a traveling musician yourself? Like having performed in front of super big crowds like that?
I mean, absolutely. Like, I feel less nerves performing in front of a larger crowd than a small, intimate crowd. um, Funnily enough, but definitely, Spec definitely like prepared me and gave me the tools and stuff for what I'm doing now. But I also think just experience and like practice of performing like is really handy. Like I busk, and that's like a completely new ball game, and that's been like really, really insightful because people either like listen and really get invested in what you're doing, or they just walk past and don't care. It sounds a bit harsh, but that's also like any hands-on experience I've really benefited from.
Yeah, you've sort of got the two different aspects. You've got a big crowd where people are specifically there to watch performances, and then you have your busking where you're trying to capture someone and pull them away from their everyday life.
Yeah, yeah, like completely opposite sides of the spectrum, but yeah, both have been great opportunities to learn, and get better as a musician and grow. So yeah.
And you mentioned the nerves. Um, I guess with a small audience, it's a little bit more personal. Like you can see each individual, whereas a school spectacular in a arena venue, it's kind of just a mass wall of people.
Yeah, I mean it's been a few years now since I've left spec, obviously. But yeah, so more intimate gigs I actually find really challenging and I feel like a little kid again because I get those nerves. Obviously the only way to learn and to get past the nerves is to do it and to perform. But yeah, 100%. I find smaller gigs so much more intimidating because you can see everyone, you can look into their eyes. It does feel a lot more personal. I also like struggle performing in front of my family
Mhm.
again for like the same reasons. But I think at the end of the day they're all really good opportunities that push me to grow.
And then over recent times, just following your social media, you've sort of been traveling all over the country with music and performing. How has that experience been?
Yeah, no, it's been good. So I've done a few regional gigs, which has been really cool. And I've done a few like city gigs. So I'm slowly like figuring out my network. I'm learning what type of gig I like and just exposing myself to lots of different types of gigs and performances, which has been really, really good. I don't have a car anymore, so that does mean traveling to and from gigs has just become like 10 times harder.
Mhm.
But so living in the city does have its perks, and that PTV is everywhere, whereas country Victoria has like no PTV. But yeah, no, that's been really good as well. And I suppose I've also gotten the opportunity like through doing gigs to meet other artists like who are my age or if, like a little bit more advanced and stuff, and they've been really inspiring. It's been great networking with them and getting to know them and listening to their music as well, and getting the opportunity to support other artists because I think everyone like needs to support each other in this industry, otherwise you're just not going to have much fun.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And I guess you get that opportunity to sort of perhaps learn from their mistakes so you don't repeat what they've done in the past.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, normally I'm like earlier in the set list, so they're learning from my mistakes. But no, definitely, whenever I get the chance to learn from other artists as well, it's yeah, really beneficial.
And then we've been given a glimpse of the EP with your opening single, Try. Can you tell us a little bit more about the inspiration behind that song?
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose Try is kind of like it took me a few years to write Try. Like I'm a slow songwriter. It takes me a while to like finish a song. So I like early versions of Try I began like in the later years of my teens, and now I'm like 21. And I've just like finished it obviously. But yeah, I think Try is like my expression of my own journey of like learning to grow and figuring out stuff and like learning to leave the past behind. And it's kind of like a almost like a promise to myself to become better and to keep like trying new things and getting out of my comfort zone. Um, but yeah, but at the same time, it's also a really light, upbeat song, almost like an anthem that you want to jam to. So it's been really fun writing Try. I collaborated with a really cool producer called Sam Swain on it, and he added such a great energy to it, and really helped bring the song to life as well, which was really good. And I'm just super excited to share it with people.
Yep. And as a creative, how important do you feel that process of like just simply trying things that are outside of your comfort zone?
I think it's really important. Not gonna lie, you have to fail like 10 times before you succeed. So I think songwriting can be really scary at times because you're like, how much do I reveal? How honest should I be with my listener? And at the same time, like production wise, it's really cool and important to like try different things, fail at different things. And so I just think the overall kind of like context and theme of the song is something everyone struggles with or experiences in their day to day life. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think my mindset is you've got to choose growth over comfort.
Mhm.
So I think by, spreading a song with this message, I think it just promotes that more.
Yeah, it's one that will connect really strong with other creators, but also with just regular people in their day-to-day life as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that is the plan. I want to like connect with people, but yeah.
And what would you say has been the biggest thing that you weren't sort of too sure about, but then after trying it, you're like, okay, yes, I need to incorporate that into my creative process moving forward?
I think, I don't know if it quite answers your question, but I think I've always struggled actually sharing the songs I write.
Mhm.
Like I kind of like get in my own bubble. I'm like, no, this song's just for me. I don't want to share my feelings with other people. Because I suppose that is what songwriting is to me. It's like a placed event. um, and so I think just even getting the courage to share this song with like a producer, for example, I actually found really nerve wracking. I was like, in my brain, I was like, are they gonna like overanalyze my lyrics? Are they gonna like not like my song? And like, I had all these insecurities that sometimes you just need to push past the fog, and just do it. So I think that in itself was quite a challenge for me, and it still is. Sharing my music still is a challenge, but again, I'm gonna keep trying to share it because it'll go nowhere if I don't.
Yeah, I guess that is the point of songwriting, where you are at your most vulnerable, when you finally, can somebody else listen to this and tell me what you think?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely, 100%.
And then looking ahead to the EP, is Try a good sort of example of what people can expect from the EP as a whole?
100%. I mean, the whole EP is a collaboration with Sam, my producer. So we collaborated and wrote the songs together. So obviously the vibe is very similar. Try is probably that's the opening track to the EP, so it's probably the lightest track out of all of them, and then slowly we go deeper and deeper. And the EP is almost autobiographical. As I kind of like talk about things, talk about my emotions, my feelings. Um, but yeah, I'd probably call the EPs like indie pop, and it kind of talks about this idea loosely about letting the past go, and kind of moving on and looking forward. And I do think Try is a good song to open with, before we kind of dive deeper into that concept.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like as someone that has struggled to open up, you've gone really quite personal with the EP.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if anything, Try is probably, now that I've finished the EP, the most unpersonal song almost.
Mhm.
Um, as in like this is like the transparent, like this is the part of me that I'm okay sharing. And then as the EP gets like deeper and deeper, it's more like, oh my God, like Kaylah's actually like trauma dumping on us now. um, yeah. So I'm excited to share the EP because at the end of the day, I think the things I struggle with are things everybody struggles with, and I think the EP is just a reflection of my insecurities, and my kind of acknowledgement of, hey, I'm going to move on now. This is the past.
Did that sort of opening up occur throughout the process? Was like Try the first song and it kind of broke the dam, and then the rest of the songs just flowed out after?
Maybe. I mean, Try definitely was one of the earlier songs, like one of the older songs that I've had. Um, Potentially, yeah, definitely. I think there are the last song, To the Bone, that's definitely like a punches you in the face a little bit, is quite deep and personal. But yeah, I think Try gave me the permission to start being honest with people. And yeah.
Okay. Oh, at least with this EP being very personal, hopefully beyond this EP will be a lot easier and a smoother process for you.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood.
And then beyond the release of the EP, what can we expect? Can we expect to see you sort of crisscrossing the country a bit more with live shows?
Well, I definitely love to obviously like perform my EP at some stage. Obviously, I'm quite a small artist at the moment, so like I would love to grow my fan base, and the only way I can do that is through gigging and meeting people and having those interactions and sharing my music. Um, I'd love to do some more live performances, and maybe even an EP launch potentially is on the cards. But I just want to keep the ball rolling, to be honest. This is like my first body of work that I've ever released. And I think everyone's got to start somewhere. This is my starting point, and I just want to keep going from there.
Okay. So finally, where then is the best place for people to track your creative journey and follow you moving forward, support you moving forward?
Well, absolutely. So like follow my socials. So it's just Kaylah Thomas, Kaylah spelt with a H on the very end to be difficult. But so it's just that across all my social media. So Instagram, Spotify. That's probably the best place to keep up to date. Otherwise, you can sign up to my mailing list on my website. And I'll keep you updated with lots of different gigs I'm doing. But yeah, that's probably the best place. Otherwise, hopefully you'll catch me at a gig or busking Burke Street Mall. So yeah.
Fantastic. We'll put all those links in the article. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me, and good luck with the EP.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.